Hello and maulan na good morning po sa inyong lahat. It's a Saturday and we are here with a very special guest to discuss a very interesting topic. Okay, our topic for today po is paano po humaba ang buhay nyo? And the answer is bawasan po ang ating kinakain. Or otherwise translated to eat less, live more. Ayan. So I'm Dr. Ana York Bondoc. Our program, Libreng Konsulta po. And that means that we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Please follow us, like and subscribe po. And I'm an internist and a pulmonary specialist. And we are here with a very special guest. So we will be discussing obesity, living longer, how to change the way you eat successfully. So please put your questions po below about obesity, nutrition, diabetes, living longer, and our special guest and myself will be very glad to answer it later po. So pakilala na po natin, our topic is eat less, live longer, and our special guest, she is an endocrinologist po from the University of Santo Tomas. She did her residency in internal medicine at the St. Luke's Global Medical Center, and she did her fellowship in endocrinology and metabolism at the University of Santo Tomas. Currently, she's a very young endocrinologist and practicing po at St. Luke's Global at the Chinese General Hospital and Medical Center and at the University of Santo Tomas. This talk by Doctora was given, the doctor version was given po at the Tomasian Endocrine Society last week. So we invited her po to give us the lay version para madaling maintindihan po natin kung paano po humaba ang ating buhay. It's an honor for us to have Dr. Florence Rochelle Gan. Dr. Florence, how are you and good morning?
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much, Dr. Ana, for inviting me to your program. It's really a pleasure to be here today.
Ayan. Thanks, Dr. Florence. I would like to correct myself. Batikang UST pala si Dr. Florence from med school, residency, and fellowship. Mahirap yun I know naman, very tough sa UST. So talagang bilib ako dito sa batang to. She's young but she's knowledgeable. So let's start po, Dr. Florence, with the case that was sent to us. And then later po, pag-uusapan po natin yung atin pong case and the slides of Doctora. So here it is. Dear Dr. Florence and Dr. Ana, I just turned 30 and got married. And I am also preparing to have kids soon. Throughout my 20s, I'm sorry, nakakayamang aminin, hindi po ako nakabantay with what I was eating. Kasi natural po akong payat. So if I just gain weight, nagka-fasting lang po ako ng ilang araw. Pero ngayon po, siguro nagkakaedad na rin ako, I recently gained 10 pounds na parang hindi na po nawawala. And I feel like I need to exercise and get healthy na rin. Family history, si daddy po is a diabetic, si mommy had breast cancer, and my ate is obese. So how can I change my diet to live longer and to live healthier? So please help me, Dr. Ana and Dr. Florence. So Dr. Florence, ikaw na.
Thank you very much, Doctora, for that case. We'll delve more on that as we go along. Okay? So, bago lang natin i-discuss further yung case, we'll just give a brief background on what happens when we eat less and anong mga effects. That's why we can live longer. Okay. Ayan. So,
sige,
let me just share my slides.
Ma'am Reyna. Oo.
Thank you, Ma'am Reyna. Okay. Ito na po.
Ayan, nag-adjust po tayo.
Okay. So, for next slide, ang pinaka-importanting tanong po ngayong araw, gaano haba po ang buhay na gusto niyo pong marating, no? Or how long do you want to live? So, gaano katagal po natin gustong mabuhay? Okay? Dr. Ana, ikaw, how long do you want to live?
Alam mo, Florence, yung parents ko both died at the age of 74 and I'm
Wow.
now 54. So baka may 20 years pa ako, hindi ko alam.
Yeah,
But
that's
the way
very
I'm
nice.
eating, it's scary.
Di bale, doktora, marami pa tayong um, mahaba pa ang ating buhay. We have more chances. Okay? So, ang sabi naman nila, no, it's not how long you live, but how you live that's very important. Therefore, don't make your life just livable, but make it memorable. Okay? So, thumbs up. So, in reality, for us Filipinos, according to the WHO statistics in 2018, it revealed that our total life expectancy is approximately 69 years old. Okay? On the other hand, the total life expectancy among Japanese, which would be shown in the next slide, is approximately 84 years. No? So mathematically, 84 minus natin yung 69 natin, that's approximately 14 years. And that's 2.5 times longer lifespan compared to the usual Filipino. Okay? And then, Okinawans are a group of Japanese people who live in a Japanese island located south of mainland Japan. So, sila, kilalang kilala po sila, no? Bilang mga centenarians. So, they age gracefully up to more than 100 years old. So, curious ba tayo kung ano ba ang secret nila sa mahabang buhay? Ito na yon, ipapakita natin, no? So, ito, in 2007, sabi po sa statistics na ang average lifespan ng isang Okinawan around 83, pero ang maximum lifespan nila umaabot ng 105 years old. Ang usual Japanese naman at yung 82 years ang average lifespan. For Americans, it's around 78 years naman. Okay? But the maximum lifespan of the usual Japanese and the Americans would be around 100 years old or 101. So, ano ba ang secret nila? Okay, so ngayon malalaman na natin. When researchers look back, they noted that these Okinawans, they eat 15% less of what they are required of. So, for example, based sa weight and age po nila, no, 1,800 ang total daily caloric intake. Pero, dahil 15% na binabawasan nila yung pagkain po nila, around 1,500 na lang than compared to the 1,800 na required sa kanila, ang tinitake ng nila. Okay? Pero, kahit na mas konti ang kinakain po nila, masasabi natin na balanced diet pa rin po ito. They usually take a nutritionally rich diet. Primarily, makikita natin dito sa food pyramid natin, no, sa baba, maraming fruits and vegetable, primarily of green leafy vegetables as well as sweet potatoes, because that's one of the crops that's common there. And then, up in the pyramid, you see they eat very less of sweets. No? Even yung mga pork and beef, konti din, they eat more of fish. Okay? So, next slide. Knowing this po, is there a way to stop aging? No, that's the question we have for today. Okay. So, next, we would know na, actually, no, we don't have yet the way to stop aging, but maybe we can slow it down a bit. Okay. So, next, what is caloric restriction? Ito po, no? So, over the past few decades, anti-aging researchers have tried their best to search for the elixir of life. And they tested several interventions known to improve health as well as longevity. Caloric restriction is one way they found on how we can prolong our life. And later, I would show you some evidences. No? So, caloric restriction is defined as reducing your average daily caloric intake below what is typical or habitual. But take note, there is no malnutrition or deprivation of essential nutrients. Ito yung pinakamalaking difference niya with other fasting nutrition interventions that we have. Okay? So next slide. Isang important concept lang po na gusto ko pong i-share po sa inyo, no? Anong difference ng chronological age tsaka ng biological age? Ito yung important na kailangan natin matandaan. So, chronological age, it is the number of years since birth and the age based on the calendar. Ito, hindi mo mababago. So, kung anong edad nyo po, yan na po yan. So, for example, you were born in 1970. By now, you are 51 years old. No? On the other hand, biological age, this is the gradual and progressive decline in our body system because of advancing age. And this can be influenced by environment and lifestyle. So, chronological age is the same for everyone. It goes at the same rate, no? Kasi hindi naman nagbabago ang bilis ng takbo ng ating panahon. Ngunit, ang biological age, pwedeng magbago, pwedeng bumilis, no? Pwedeng bumagal for others, no? So, for example, 51 years old ang edad nyo po based on the calendar. Pero, by biological age, you can be, probably, mas marami kang sakit. You can be 60 years old na po. Or, because you live a healthier lifestyle, you can be probably 45 years old or younger pa po. Okay? So, let me illustrate that in the next picture po. So, may isang pag-aaral, no? It lasted for around 2 years. And it showed how caloric restriction would affect our biological age. So, in this graph, you see that the dark blue circles, they would represent the ad libitum group. So, ito yung mga hindi nag-diet, no? Kumain lang ng kahit na kung ano yung gusto po nila. And they ate as much as they want, no? While the other group, yun yung light blue triangles, ito yung caloric restricted group. Sa kanila po, they ate approximately 12% less of what is required of them. Okay? So, in this graph, you will also see sa x-axis, yun po yung sa baba, no? Yun yung baseline, 12 months, 24 months. Y-axis po, nandun yung biological age po natin. Okay. How do we explain this? So, next slide. No? At the start of the study, baseline, lahat sila 37 years old po. Yung ad libitum group and yung caloric restricted group po, 37 years old pa rin po sila ang biological age po nila. Okay? But what happened after 1 year? No? So, we can see from the next slide that yung ad libitum group, yung age nila by that time, chronological age nila, 38 years old na sila kasi lumipas na po ang 1 taon. Ngunit, ano ang biological age nila? So yung katawan nila, anong edad ng katawan lang po nila? No? So yung ad libitum group, yung hindi nag-diet, tumanda by 6 months. Okay? Pero yung nag-restrict ng diet po, tumanda lamang ng 3 linggo, kahit na lumipas na po ang 1 taon. Okay? So, ang next slide pa po, no, makikita natin, after 2 years, ang chronological age po natin ay 39 years old. Ngunit, ang biological age natin, ano na po ba? So, makikita natin, sa ad libitum group, yung mga hindi nag-diet, around 38 and 3 months po yung edad nila, yung biological age nila, kahit na 39 years old na po sila. Pero yung caloric restricted group po, tumanda lamang ng 1.5 months, kahit na lumipas na po ang 2 taon. No? O, di ba? Batang-bata po ang mga nag-caloric restriction. And we are only limited to 2 years of data. However, probably if we continued on this diet, mas maganda pa ang results natin. Diba? So, ano pa po bang ibang mga epekto po ng caloric restriction? Definitely, there is pagbaba po ng timbang, bababa din po ang blood pressure kasi gumaganda po ang timbang, at nagiging bumababa din po yung blood sugar, so kung may diabetes po, no, mas mabilis pong makontrol, at nag-improve din po ang ating cholesterol. So kumbaga, lahat po ng factors na to kapag pinagsama-sama po, it will reduce your risk factor for heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Definitely very good effects of caloric restriction. Alright? Yan lang ba? Meron pang iba. Okay? Ang iba pa niyang epekto po ay better quality of life. So, improve ang ating mood. Mas magaganda ang aura po natin. No? Wala siyang pagbabago sa pagtulog. Yung iba kasi sinasabi, pag konti ang pagkain po, mainitin ang ulo. Yung iba naman po, hirap pong matulog. Yung iba naman po, isip ng isip kung ano po ang kakainin susunod. Sa caloric restriction po, wala pong ganito. No? And studies also show, nung chinek po yung hormones nila, no, wala pong pagbabago sa sexual function po ng mga participants po natin. So overall, it had a better quality of life. Okay? But if we look into yung, kumbaga, itong mga kailangan lang pong bantayan, no? Na any weight loss intervention po, there will definitely be a slight effect on our bones. Okay? But if we do caloric restriction as well as exercise, yung mga aerobic exercises, no? Definitely, we will have a better future po, and we can always maintain our bone health. Okay? So, anong difference naman nito sa fasting diet, no? Kasi yun yung mga fasting diet, mga intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet. So, ang difference po nito, ang fasting diet, person does not eat or severely limits intake during fasting schedule. And fewer caloric intake po because of less time for regular eating. Okay? So, this is very different from caloric restriction. So, we jump now to what happens, no? What happens if you do severe caloric restriction? Yung iba kasi may mga pag-aaral po na even if they did caloric restriction for more than 30%, no? So, or yung iba sobrang severe talaga. So, syempre, meron din po itong side effect kung talagang severe po yung ating caloric restriction. So, ang makikita po natin dyan sometimes, no? In the next 2 slides, we will see that the side effects po nito ay, isa pa pong slide. Okay? That you could have sobrang payat po natin, no? Yung iba, nawawalan ng sexual drive, cold sensitivity, no? Or yung iba nagkakaroon ng problem sa menses po, no? So, if you ask me, what is the ideal caloric intake po? And the ideal caloric intake would be a definite degree of energy restriction that is ideal for an individual po. It might, there's really no, we have to individualize it. Kung baga, walang one size fits all, no? Kasi, baka sobra po para sa iba naman po ay kulang. Okay? So, yan po. If you do a diet po, make sure that the diet plan is healthy and fun. Okay? So that you would do it for a long time. Okay? And again, if you ask me also, what is the best diet for anti-aging? The answer to this is the diet plan that you can live with for months to many years to come. Okay? It should be something that is sustainable. Okay? Because through the years, it will be very hard to stick to your diet. Especially if it's a fasting fad diet, it's very hard. And you will lose some of the minerals and nutrients, no, because you didn't eat everything. But with caloric restriction, you have all the nutrients, okay? And if you can sustain this for a long time, that would be good, because these diets that you can sustain for a long time, you can see that it will foster healthy aging, okay? So lastly, I would like to share with everyone, this is a beautiful saying po, and the secret to living well and longer is to eat half, walk double, laugh triple, and love without measure. Okay? That's my last slide. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, sa inyong pakikinig.
Dr. Florence,
Anna,
congratulations on such an interesting talk. Talagang ang daming nabuksang mga questions sa utak namin. And it's an interesting concept. My question, what percentage of caloric restriction, and how do we know if we are already eating a caloric restricted diet?
Okay. So usually, we compute our daily caloric intake based on our ideal body weight, no? The ideal body weight, there's a computation also for that. Generally, that weight times around mga 20 to 25 per day, no? 20 to 25 kcal per day. Okay? Of that. So, generally, pag 60 kilos, we say, yung iba around 1.7 to around, kung iba, they want to compute it at 30 kcal, so umaabot sila ng 1.8. Okay? So, in this study, although ang goal nila was 25% caloric restriction, through the 2 years, they weren't also able to sustain it. And in the end, they only were able to achieve 12% of caloric restriction. Okay? So, kung 1.8 minus, kung let's say, 10%. Diba? 1.8 minus, let's say, 200 kcal po. No? So, mga 1.6 kcal po. No? Yun yung caloric restricted diet. That's better than taking the full caloric restriction po natin. I mean, sorry, the full total daily caloric intake po natin na recommended
yung advice.
po. No? Opo. So, maybe the 1.6, if your daily caloric intake is 1.8, then that would be good na po. We see, di ba, kahit na 12% lang po yung caloric restriction po ng mga participants po in this study, they were already able to reap the benefits of caloric restriction. And that's really great to know. Diba? So, even 10%, 12%, that would really be helpful na po.
Question, if you're already overweight, how do you start to have a caloric restricted lifestyle? Kasi parang feeling ko dapat lifestyle, 'di ba? Hindi siya diet, lifestyle.
Yes. That's very good point po, Doktora, no? It's a lifestyle. It's something that you should live with. Hindi yung gusto mo lang po ngayon gawin, no? Because if you just do it now, eventually, pag napagod na po kayong gawin po ito, you will go back to your old habits and you will gain back all that weight and probably more. Yun po yung problem, no, with diet fads that we have. That's why yung iba, swinging yung weight nila. They lose a lot of weight, then pag nag-stop sila or they go back to their old diet, they gain the weight back and more. Okay. So, how do we start it off, no? So, first, ito, mga easy tips lang to, no? Kasi minsan, I understand, it's very hard to count all your calories po, no? But we have some calorie trackers po with your phone. You can download it, no? Then you can put in what you ate. But if you don't have that much time, kasi busy tayong mga tao, no? What you can do is, akin po, ito, number 1, tanggalin po lahat ng dessert o kaya bawasan. That would already help a lot because
yung pala wala na. Step 1 pa lang, goodbye na ako. Okay,
yes. Because desserts are very high calorie food, except for our fruits, no? Because those are natural sugars. Because if you have dessert, malaki talagang makakain nun sa inyong daily caloric intake. So, for example, 1.6 lang ang daily caloric intake or 1.5, di ba? 1.5. O, divide mo by 3. So, every meal, you only have to take 500 kcal po, no? So, pag kumain ka ng dessert or kumain ka sa fast food, ubus na agad yung 500 mo.
Wala ka nang kakainin the whole day.
Yes.
Tapos na.
No? Tama po yun. Kaya nga po, pinakamaganda, you prepare your own food. If you can shy away from fast food, no? That would be really great. No? These are just some tips. Ano pa? Eat more of vegetables and fruits because vegetables and fruits would have fiber and they will make you full. And the green leafy vegetables that we take po, kumbaga, yung calories po na nito, mababa. Yung iba, 5 to 50 lang po, no? So, yung iba, 20 calories lang po isang buong plato. Hindi mo naman kaya ubusin isang buong plato ng gulay din, di ba? So, malaki na po yung natipid mo na calories, pero busog po kayo, no? Ano pa? You eat lang yung you have to eat breakfast all the time. To me, it's very important because your first meal is your breakfast. If you wake up a bit late, then eat brunch because tendency po, if you skip your breakfast, sometimes the next meal, you eat more. No? Tendency, you eat more, yun yung nangyayari. So, as much as possible, still eat some breakfast. Okay? Ano pa? When you're eating, you should be mindful. You should not watch TV or Netflix or any show, no?
Ay,
Don't
yung
play games.
dire-diretso, oo.
Opo, no? Kasi minsan, ang sarap, parang pag nasa mga movie house, di ba, we get popcorn, isang buong bag ng popcorn, nauubos mo dun sa 2 hours na nanonood ka. Minsan, wala pa nga 2 hours, ubos na po natin, di ba? And that's really a lot of calories and na-feel, di mo man lang nanamnam talaga yung kinakain mo, no? Because if you eat mindfully, you only eat kapag yun na ang iniisip mo, mas malalasahan mo yung food, mas na-appreciate po natin. No? So those are little tips. Ano pa? No high-calorie snacks. Okay. No? So if you can take away the cookies, the biscuits na may mga palaman, no? I know these
Gusto
are
ko
very,
yun.
very, kumbaga, readily nandyan eh. Yan yung mga easy na pwede natin kainin, no? But isang advice nga nila, if you can substitute that for something else, like some veggies that you prepared or low-calorie na bread, no? Sugar-free na bread, o kaya yung, hindi sugar-free, yung whole wheat pala na bread, no? Yun yung mga substitute.
Naka-whole wheat
diba?
ako.
Really good, no? So, ano pa? Sometimes if you eat out sa restaurant, just choose the better options. Okay? Sometimes, nabanggit din to sa akin ni Doktora Ana, no? Yung only rice. Okay. Only soft drink. Okay. Yan. Diba?
Only iced tea.
Only iced tea. Kumbaga,
napakasaya.
Yes, napakasaya and very attractive po, 'di ba? Kumbaga, you just pay a bit more and yet you get value for money. Yun yung iniisip natin. But actually, if you come to think of it, the little amount that you paid for, ang kapalit po niyan, yung risk natin to get other diseases, chronic diseases in the long run, no? Imagine
mga
mo,
lifestyle diseases.
yes, lagi kang everyday nag-iced tea ka, bottomless, di ba? Ano na kaya ang itsura ng blood sugar natin dyan? Okay? Oo, hindi po. Kumbaga kahit na sabihin nyo po, you're very young, you're very lean. Totoo po ito, no? Share ko po sa inyo. We see more patients who are young, in their 20s, no? Early 30s po. Pupunta sa endocrinologist, nagpapa-clearance. Bakit po? Pag naghanap ng work, generally, they will do a physical exam, they would get their baseline exams, no? Sa urine po nila lumalabas, meron na pong sugar po sa ihi. Okay?
May sugar na sa
and then when you
ihi.
check,
Oh my God.
may sugar na sa ihi. Okay, so that only means na parang baka diabetic na po tayo, di ba? Remember, minsan pag hindi natin na-flush yung toilet, yung nilalanggam yung ihi. So, those are some signs that probably marami na pong sugar nag-accumulate sa body po na hindi natin nagagamit
That
properly.
is not good.
Yeah, not good. No? So, it's very surprising. 20 plus years old, bakit to nasa clinic
Mga bata.
ko? Diba? Yes po.
Nakikita niyo na sa practice niyo, Dr. Florence,
Yes
is getting
po.
younger.
Yes, we see that trend actually. Because young people were very, very techy. Diba? Order lang tayo sa... Mabilis mag-order ngayon. Diba? Kahit na anong gusto mo, nandyan. It's very
Grab
convenient.
food.
That's why. Yes, that's real. And ano pa, we have a lot of high-calorie food that's rich in sugar. No? Kaya talagang you see the trend now that the people who are getting diabetes, who are living with obesity are nag-start na rin even at a very young age. Okay, so just watch out of what you eat because I know sometimes it's very hard to take out sugar because sugar makes us a bit happy, diba? Pero siguro wag lang yung only. Maybe
Wala.
Opo, a small serving would be fine, but if you can really take out sugar or reduce the amount that you take, that would be really great. And it would help you a lot also control your blood sugar as well as your weight. Okay? Ano pa? Important, although hindi natin na-discuss sobra dito sa lecture po, no? Yung exercise. Okay? Isa din yung bagay, no? Because exercise, also you burn the calories that you take in. Okay? So, if you eat a lot, then you have to burn also para mag-equal siya dun sa amount na required mo lang per day. Okay? So, yun yung mga ibang mga tips natin, no? Lalo na ngayon. Ito po ang rule ko po, no? So, what I always tell my patients, bawal po umupo habang nanonood ng Netflix for 3 hours. If you can watch Netflix for 3 hours, you can at least move or walk around or jog in place habang nanonood ka, no? At least for 30 minutes every day. O, di ba? I mean,
Ay, yung iba
30 minutes of
nakahiga pa,
exercise
Dr.
per day.
Florence, eh.
Yes, opo, oo. So, kung 3 hours po kayo manonood, at least a lot yung first 30 minutes or yung middle 30 minutes, di ba, na move a little. Okay? So that at least naman may konting activity po tayo. Okay? If you have some equipment at home, that would be great, di ba? Lagay mo lang yung phone mo doon. You can do the treadmill for an hour. Di ka maiinip na mag-exercise because you're watching something. But just always remember to move more than you stay sedentary. Okay?
Ayan. Thank you, Dr. Florence. Ang gaganda ng tips. Nalungkot tuloy ako. At inuulan tayo ng tanong. So, as much as possible, parang brief na lang kasi ang daming tanong.
Okay.
Are we
Go ahead
ready
po.
with the questions? Ayan. So, let's wait. Ayan. Okay. Miss Reina, are you here or ano? Eto.
From one of our viewer, Doctor, I can read na po. What's the ideal diet for a Filipino who loves only rice? Ayan, nako.
Okay. So,
Number 1 question.
ideal diet, hindi po only rice.
Ilang rice ba or no rice? Sige, klaro na natin yan.
You can eat rice naman po, no? Probably half cup to 1 cup. If you go for brown rice, that would also be good. Although white and brown generally have the same calories naman po. What's good lang with the brown rice is that it has more fiber and it will make you full, no? So yun, then if you feel full na, you don't eat a lot more. Okay?
So
Yun po.
talagang ilimit yung rice. Ayan.
Tama po kayo.
Okay. So ilimit niyo yung rice nyo. Dahil brown, hindi meaning pwede ng only. Okay? Ngayon ko lang nalaman na pareho lang pala yung brown and white. Except that mas maraming fibers si brown. But mataas pa rin yung calories niya. Okay. Malinaw. Okay. Next question po. Are you okay, Miss Reina?
Yes po, from Mr. Eman Borjal. Doctora, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Doctora? Yes, okay. Good
Very
morning. How? If you're already stressed out with work and food is the only way to comfort you, what are alternative foods, maybe recipes I can do? Ayan po.
Magandang
Hi, Sir
tanong yan.
Eman. Good morning. Thank you for listening in to our segment, no? Marami talaga ganyan, no? They use food as comfort for or a stress reliever po. Okay, so
Lalo na ngayon, pandemic.
yes, okay. So, ang tips pa rin dyan, choose ones that are healthier. Okay, no? So, if you like to eat because you're stressed, choose those that are healthier. Wag cake, wag cookies, no? Don't binge on these drinks that have a lot of sugar. Okay? Because that will make you gain weight and probably, syempre, leads to other diseases. Yan yung ayaw po natin. Okay? Anong ibang option? So, choose something na low calories, no? Ano pa? Like, you can prepare a sandwich na like yung may ibang bread na sinesell po sila. Wag na po kayo mamili ng bread na maraming butter, maraming sugar, no? So, choose ones that are whole grain. Tapos, siguro lagyan po natin ng konting slice ng lean na chicken meat, no? Pwede yun, di ba? Yun na po yung isa-snack on nyo po. Or others, if you enjoy, you could make a small salad, no? But please take note also yung dressing mo. Dapat hindi masyadong mamayo. Okay? Probably go for something like a vinaigrette, no? So, those are other options. Or, ito po yung isa naman, is to choose another outlet on how you can release your stress. So, yung iba, they would start, ito, maganda to, diba? Go on an exercise. You could go jogging, o kaya sa bahay, if you have an equipment, diba? You could do the treadmill for a few minutes or hours po. Then you can watch a show that you like. Okay? But, yun nga, like I said, yung food, yung mga high calorie, iba ice cream ang pinipili, no? No, wag na po yung mga ganun na options. Kasi,
Ako, double
talagang
Dutch yung
mahirapan
akin,
tayo.
doktora. Double Dutch yung akin. Okay, tigilan
Masarap
na
po,
yan.
masarap po yun, doktora. I agree.
Tigilan. Okay, next question.
What's
Ay,
your
parang
opinion
maganda
on
ito.
diet sodas and Coke Zero po? Okay.
Yan, maganda yan.
Yes, that's a good question po, Doktora. To me, I'm not an advocate of sugar substitutes, okay? Or yung mga sweeteners po natin, no? Because I always believe
I keep
that
using that.
I always believe that it's it will alter kasi sweeteners don't increase your blood sugar, but it will still make your tongue look for something that's sweet. Okay? For those who aim to lose weight or it's a lifestyle na you have to shy away from things that are sweet, and probably one thing with that is you have to train your tongue na to eat less sweet food. So if you're always taking these sugar sweeteners, ang nangyayari po, feeling mo minsan hindi pa matamis, pero matamis na po. No? So, hindi po, no. Water na lang po tayo. But
I have been drinking Diet Coke for 30 years.
Paminsan-minsan, Doktora, it's okay. But I know some people, no, they really don't like water. And they would take yung soft drinks as an alternative to their water. Siguro, probably we can try shifting a bit na more of trend of drinking water, no, than our soft drinks, because these soft drinks also don't have nutritional value so as much. Okay?
Okay.
That's just how I think about it.
Okay, sige.
Oh, next question, very interesting also, no? Oo.
Next question, should I diet or change my lifestyle?
Okay.
Oh, yun na nga. Yun nga. Well, how about, parang kasi people feel that they might be on a diet for the rest of their life. So, paano yun? Oo.
Okay. Our diet should be part of our lifestyle. So, it goes hand in hand. Oo. Diba, Dr. Anna, when we advise our patients, pag lagi tayong tinatanong, Doctora, I'm conscious about my weight. How do I lose it? No? So, we always tell them, lifestyle change. So, ano ba yung lifestyle change? So, that would include diet. But, also, no, it starts with A, B, C, D, E, F. This is how you readily remember it. So, A, alcohol cessation. So, stop na yung alcohol. No? Because it's harder to burn alcohol, actually. No?
Wow.
7 kcal compared to just your carbs na 4 kcal, no? Next, B is you have to sleep at bedtime for around 8 hours, no? Because at night your hormones go lower na, no? And if you're still awake, tendency you will eat, okay? Para magising ka. So if your work doesn't entail you to stay up late, I hope you can sleep earlier. Okay? Pero, syempre, ibang usapan na yung mga night shift, no? Opo. C naman po is cigarette cessation, no? We have to stop smoking and live a better life so that we could also live longer, no? D is to declutter your life and distress. Yan yung isa sa mga important na mga points po natin, no? Then, E is promote and start an exercise regimen that you like, no? There's no exercise na fixed po per person, no? You have to find an activity that you like. And it's something that you will do for a long time po. Then, lastly, is F, yung diet po natin, no? So, you could do fasting, kumbaga, mas konti yung intake nyo po. Okay? So, F is food, actually, food, no? So, sa food naman, you do a diet, you eat less of yung mga hindi na po natin, mga essential naman na kailangan pong kainin. Okay?
Doctora, sorry, Miss Reina, I just wanted to, very curious about this. The link between not sleeping or yung night shift or yung tinatawag po nilang BPO lifestyle. 'Di ba? Parang nauso yung term na yon. Is there a link between that and eating or somehow becoming obese? Kasi 'di ba parang napag-usapan or nauso talaga yung mga BPO workers na paglabas nila, puyat na sila, then they eat sa mga fast foods. Some have bad health habits. Can you advise a BPO worker? Kasi maraming
Okay.
mga bata na yun, and the Philippines is really full of BPO workers.
That's true po, no, Doktora? So for BPOs, of course, it's our work, no? We don't, di naman mahirap po magpalit ng work, we understand. So for these group of people po, what we can do is actually watch out po on what you eat. Diba? Generally, madalas po yan when we ask our patients, pag gabi na, they're together, syempre, antukin po nila sila. No? This, not only for our BPO workers this is also true for our nurses who go for night shift.
Night shift.
Diba? Doktora, mapapansin mo yan sila, they will tell you na, syempre, because they work late at night, tendency our body at that time, sleepy na. Kasi, yun yung normal sleeping pattern po natin. So, mangyayari, they order food nga. No? So, ito po yung isang advice natin na pwede. If you order food, choose those that are healthier options. No? Don't go for supersize na mga drinks, no? Wag nang extra large, regular na lang, pwede, 'di ba? Or mas maganda if you have time, you can fix your own baon and bring it to the office, 'di ba? Opo, yun yung mga little tips natin for you. And then if you go home, you rest, then if you wake up earlier than your schedule, you can still go for a bit of exercise, 'di ba? Para malose mo rin you burn the calories that you ate also. Okay, so you don't probably gain that much weight if you eat a lot at night. Okay, yun po yung mga little tips that we can share with them.
From Mr. Jason Silaran, good morning po mga doktora. Madami na po ngayon uri ng diet like vegan, keto, low carb, etc. Ask ko lang po if anong diet po bang maganda sa may GERD or GERD or para sa iba na din na para maging healthy. Salamat po Doc Ana and Doc Florence. God bless po.
Thank you, Sir Jason, for that question po. No? That's a very interesting question. That's true. There are a lot of diets that are out there. But like I say po, no, the different diets that we have, like yung keto diet, the very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet, because it's high in fat and low in carbs, we cannot sustain that for a long time. No? It won't be healthy kasi like the ketogenic, in the long run, in the long term, you have to check for your cholesterols, you have to check for your uric acid, your creatinine, because it would somehow affect your body also. So, yung iba, short term, they do it, but for long term, I think it is not something that's really something you can do for a long time po. No? Intermittent fasting naman, if it works for you, I think the time-restricted feeding is a good option wherein you fast for a few hours. You eat for a few hours, like 8 hours, then you fast for the next time. Pwede yun. Or you eat for 12 hours, you don't eat for the next 12 hours. That's fine, no? Because that's how we are. 7 a.m., gigising ka, kain ka breakfast. Then dinner mo, 7 p.m. That's still part of yung parang usual routine, no? When you still eat like this, make sure lang na during your eating periods, you still eat a balanced diet. Hindi yung kain kahit na ano, no? Because if you eat kahit na ano during the 12-hour period na window of feeding, still, ang mangyayari po nito, you will still, kung hindi po healthy pa rin yung diet, no, you will have a difficult time pa rin to maintain a good health, no? If you're eating kahit na ano dun sa window time frame na yun. For me kasi medyo mahirap yung you fast 24 hours tapos you eat the next day, then yung isang klase din ng intermittent fasting, no? Tapos the next day, mag-fast ulit, tapos kakain, no? Ng kahit ano the next day. No? So, diet kasi should be a lifestyle. It's something that you can live with for the next few months, for many years, until tumanda na po kayo, magkaapo po kayo. No? And living a healthy, maintaining a good lifestyle po, and a good diet is always the key to success. Because if you don't enjoy your diet, you cannot sustain it for a long time. At in the long run po, hahanap-hanapin nyo po yung pagkain na hindi nyo po nakain. No? And yung iba, they break out from their diet, tapos they gain more weight. So, ang best advice ko po talaga is to look for the diet that you can live with, a healthy diet that you can live with, and maintain that for a long time. It would always be different for every person po. Hence, you should try to find something that you can live with po.
Okay. Next question.
From one of her viewers,
Oo,
Doktora, bakit mas maikli ang lifespan ng Filipino men? 67 lang pala versus females, 63 years old. Wow.
Okay, I think sa most of the studies po talaga, even in other countries, mostly yung men, they have shorter lifespan, no? Ang sabi kasi nila, for women, no? Jenny, pag may nararamdaman po, we're more conscious at ang mangyayari, we go see a doctor agad. No? That's for females. But for men, it takes quite some time for us to convince them to come to the clinic. And so, mas matagal na po yung sakit nila sometimes. No? So that's one factor po. No? Oo. Yun ang, sa mga studies po, yun yung isang mga sinasabi po nila. Kaya the women sometimes outlive their husbands.
True. Yung mother ko lived longer than my dad at yung biyanan ko lived longer. Sabagay, my mom was younger than my dad, pero true, yung biyanan ko rin. Okay, next question. Feeling ko, are you there, Ms. Reina? Feeling ko mukha akong matanda and I lack energy. Could it be due to my diet? I am in my 50s.
Okay. First po, no, we have to know what diet you are in, okay, and how long you've been doing that diet po. But the lack of energy could be a lot of things po, no? You could have other illnesses po pala, kaya po we lack energy, okay? Because energy is contributed by a lot of other factors. So, for example, yung iba po, mababa ang thyroid hormone po nila, so they lack energy, no? May iba naman po, baka diabetic po, kaya parang hinang-hina po yung pakiramdam po nila. So these are just examples po, no? But not limited to these po.
Okay. Okay, next question. Thanks, Doktora. Ayan. Ms. Reina, are you okay?
Yes po. Doktora, what's your opinion on Filipino diet ngayon compared to our parents? Especially with the rise of food delivery and processed foods and fast foods.
Ayan, nabanggit niyo yan, Doktora. Can you share with us?
Okay. Masasabi ko po, no, syempre, ang buhay natin dati, kumbaga, we're more lucky po ngayon because we have everything, the food is is readily available at our fingertips, no? You just check your phone. Ang naisip mo, you can pa-deliver po. Tama po yan. During the times of our parents po, it's not that easy. And most of the time, we have to prepare the food for ourselves. Hence, the food we prepare at home, most likely po kumbaga, I can say po for most, would be more nutritious. Kasi sa fast food, we don't know what they use, no?
Hindi mo alam.
If it's processed. Yes. Processed food, a lot of them have fats. If you can see, like, mga longganisa natin, you see the bacon, no? They're all processed hot dog, no? And if you check yung calories po nila, mataas, no? Compared if you eat something that you prepared at home. That's why our advice is if you can prepare something at home, that would be always better because you know how you prepared it. You can compute the calories for that. And these would, kumbaga, translate to something that's healthier po most of the time. No?
Ayan. Maganda yan, the rise of processed foods, food apps, at saka nakakaapekto sa mga bata yan.
Question: What is your recommended caloric restricted diet? If po ba?
Okay.
IF or
Sige.
intermittent fasting po ba?
Oo, parang ito yung natanong ata yung what is the meaning of a caloric restricted diet?
Okay.
Parang ganun.
The
Oo.
caloric restricted diet po, you reduce the amount of calories but you still eat all the essential nutrients po. As compared to the fasting diets po that we have, sometimes you don't eat all the nutrients that you need, no? So kumbaga sa caloric restriction po, sa studies po na to 10% po, 12% po yung caloric restriction nila, and they were already able to garner all the good results, no? Although sa study na yun dapat po 25% talaga ang goal, but of course it's very hard. So in the end, kahit yung mga participants, 12% lang yung total na na-achieve po nila,
Pero
and
may
yet
benefits
may
yun,
benefit pa rin po. So
Okay.
it just goes to show that reducing kung 1/8 ang total caloric intake nyo po na recommended, reducing a bit, baba ka ng 1/5,
Malaking
1/6,
bagay na.
malaking bagay. Tama po kayo dyan, Doktora. So, pero kasi sa totoo lang po, baka hindi lang po 1/8 ang kinakain po natin everyday. No? Baka po mas malaki. So, if you reduce that, malaking bagay po yan.
That is something. Dr. Florence, mabalik tayo dun sa case. History of breast cancer. Any tips? Parang, I think the lady, the young person had a history of breast cancer. Any tips? Ayan.
Okay. If they have mga ganitong situations po, no? Generally kasi yung iba, we should still advise them talaga to have a healthy diet. Yung iba nawawalan ng gana, no? So we should talk to them that maybe they could do small frequent feedings, no? Kahit na kung hirap po silang kumain, kahit na konti-konti pero madalas para lang maabot nila yung total caloric intake nila. Kung hindi naman po, probably we could do we could supplement with some milk po para at least yung protein po nila ma-maintain po nila, because of course very stressful talaga if cancer patient to and their ongoing chemotherapy po, no? But if they're a survivor, then well and good, any balanced healthy diet po would already suffice. Okay.
Parang may nakita akong question about getting pregnant. Ayan. Ito rin napunta
Yes
sa case.
po.
Yes. Is there any
let me-
advice for those who would like to be pregnant? Ayan. Kasi
Okay.
parang yun din
For
ang
those
tinanong sa kaso. Oo.
Opo. For those who'd like to get pregnant, of course, definitely kayo, you have to eat a balanced, healthy diet, no? Because you don't know when you will be pregnant, okay? And of course, our baby will need all the nutrients and they will be very dependent on you, the mother po, no? So, pag nagda-diet po sila, syempre we don't get all the nutrients that we need. So, mamaya pregnant na pala tayo tapos naka-diet, hindi natin mabigyan ng adequate nutrition po yung baby po natin. Okay? So, healthy balanced diet is still the way to go po.
Doktora, may nakikita akong mataba. Kasi I talked to an endocrinology specialist. Pag obese daw, tapos pumapayat, kuminsan mas nagiging pregnant. Can you share something in that? At tapos yung iba
true.
naman masyadong athletic and then pinapastop kuminsan ng too much exercise. Can you share with us yung thoughts niyo?
Okay. For these patients po kasi, no, with weight loss kasi, there are a lot of studies na showing now with weight loss, people become more fertile. Okay? So that's
okay. So
really...
merong ganon.
Opo.
Oo.
So that's why yung iba po, na especially those with PCOS, because they're insulin resistant, they gain weight, no? Ang advice po talaga dyan is lifestyle change. They have to lose some weight. And after that time, they have more chances of getting pregnant. po, no?
Yeah.
In fact po, Doktora, for those patients who are living with obesity and they undergo bariatric surgery po, when they lose the weight, marami po sa kanila get pregnant easily because they are more fertile po, no? So nagiging the risk for pregnancy really is higher compared before.
Oh, that's
Okay?
good. Oo.
Oo, that's good. That's why losing the weight, especially if you have plans and you have difficulty, maybe changing your lifestyle would be one way to help you out. Okay?
Ayan. Okay.
And then, yung kabaliktaran naman po, those who are athletic naman po, their hormones kasi po na nagbabago din po, no? Because being too athletic, I mean, it's not bad, no? Don't get us wrong, but your hormones are also changing. So, we have to, and for, especially if you are professional mga athletes, of course, the stress is also high, no? So, probably we have to reduce the stress so that the hormones can adapt, and then their risk for pregnancy magtataas din po, no?
Ayan.
Kumbaga.
Parang may nakikita akong hypothyroid dito, Miss Reina.
Yes po. Sabi po nila, hypothyroid ako. Is that stopping me from losing weight?
Ayan.
Yeah, that's a good question po, no? So for those who have hypothyroidism, we know that the thyroid regulates our metabolism. Hence, if you have hypothyroidism, what happens is that, of course, your metabolism goes down and your weight will also be affected, and some would gain weight, and yun nga, yung iba, it would be really a hurdle for them to lose the weight. That's why for some patients who have big weights, no? Yung mataas ang timbang, we have to also check for their thyroid function. Baka yun pala yung reason kung bakit po nahirapan sila mag-lose ng weight. And if we don't go into the cause of why you're not losing weight, then we won't be able to give a solution, no? It's hard to lose weight talaga if you're hypothyroid. So if you don't correct that hormonal abnormality, then it would be really hard to lose weight.
So, pa-check yung thyroid din kung may problema.
Yes, opo.
Ayan.
From Mr. Eman Borjal, paano if majority that you do is thinking? Di ba po ang food ng brain is calorie?
Maganda. Sige,
Magandang
Dr.
tanong po
Mara,
ito,
go.
Sir Eman. Opo, tama. It depends po kasi ito nga po yun, no? For others, when they're on a diet, lalo na on a very low calorie diet po, yung iba kumakain lang po ng 500 kcal per day, hindi ko po alam paano po nila nagagawa yun. Totoo, pag ganun lang po yung kinakain nyo po, every time you work, you only think of food. Isipin mo, anong oras na po, pwede na po ba akong kumain? So, kumari, you're on a fasting diet na today fasting, the next day hindi ka magpa-fast eat. So, today, kung 500 lang pwede mong kainin. Naabot mo na yung 500. After nun, ang mangyayari po, isip ka na isip, anong oras po ako pwedeng kumain, tama po yun. That's why, caloric restriction po does not do that, di ba? Yung napakita natin sa mga studies, it doesn't make you crave for food. What it does is only reduce your caloric intake by 12%, no? So that's not so much. But, ang nangyayari po, you don't think about the food eh. Pero, ang mangyayari po nito, if you, kung 500, example po, 500 kcal lang po yung kakainin nyo, syempre, ano lang po yun, parang isang cup ng kanin, isang ulam, yun lang po yung kinain yung buong araw. Syempre, magugutom po kayo, lalo na kung galing po kayo sa 2,000
Kala ko per
kcal na
meal.
diet.
Whole
Oo.
day na pala yun.
Opo,
Hindi
for
nga
some,
pwede
that's
yun.
very low caloric po, no? That's what they do, 500. Severe na energy restriction po yung ginagawa po nila, no? Some IF variety would have that case po, Doktora.
So,
No?
that is not,
That's not
may problema
physiologic
din doon.
po. It's very hard to do actually po. That's why, ang mangyayari po nun, you keep on thinking of food, no? So, what we can do po, for you to budget din po, is to use yung mga low-calorie na food instead of the high-calorie food. So, for example, don't eat chocolate kasi yung chocolate po, mataas ang calorie. So, yung chocolate na yun, baka may nakain na po kayong ibang bagay po na mas nakakabusog, diba, kaysa dun sa chocolate po. So, those are just some examples. So, kumbaga, you just learn how to budget. Kung 1.5 yung budget mo for the day, yun lang po yung kakainin natin. Pero you're right na don't go to a very low calorie restricted diet. Kaya nga din sabi natin, di ba, kanina, beyond severe caloric restriction, there are really more than the benefits you reap, you also get a lot of the adverse events, which are not, kumbaga, really great and not recommendable po.
At saka not sustainable, yun ang
Yes,
importante.
very good, Doktora, no? Kasi very important talaga yan with a diet is kaya it's a lifestyle. You have to live with it and it should be sustainable.
From Miss Reina, ready ka? Ang ganda nito.
From Miss Reg Frejas, I eat less this past 2 weeks, especially rice, and lost 3 pounds. Also, bumilis ang metabolism.
Okay, sige. Tama po naman po, no? So, if you don't eat rice, you bawas on the carbs, no? Some ketogenic diet, we didn't show it, but there's ketogenic regular diet, no? Meron din yung very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. Okay? So, tama naman po na talaga if you eat less of the carbs, ang mangyayari po, you burn the others, no? Like, usually the fats, kaya you lose the weight. Okay? But just be sure that you don't go to a very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet because if matagal na rin pong very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet, may mga side effects din po, no? Which is not good. Especially if you have diabetes, yung iba, or may iba pa po kayong sakit, no? So, ito pala yung hindi ko na-mention, no? If you will go into a diet talaga, it's best you also ask the advice of your physician who knows you best because one diet that is being advertised might not be the best diet for you. No, there are some, you might have an illness that won't match to this type of diet. So, or iba may kidney disease, may iba may hepatic problem, liver disease, no? Diabetic po, may heart disease. So, baka hindi po, yun yung best na diet po para sa inyo. So, yun po pala ang advice ko. Please see your
Magpakonsulta din
doctor
sa
po
doktor.
and let them know. Because by listening to us po with Dr. Anna, you only get tidbits of advice, but it's not a personalized approach that we can tell you.
So, dapat magpatingin din. Yeah. Stress eating. Oh my God. Doktora, stress eating. How to...
Opo. Maganda pong bagay to. So, let's keep calm and not eat. Yan po. In relation to our logo po, no? Sa akin po, it's very hard if that stress eating is your way of coping with stress. Totoo po yan. Because food will make you calm. But isang advice po is if you really want to eat, if you're stressed, choose something that's low calorie. No, wag na yung high calorie like we mentioned, yung ice cream, cookies, cakes. Talagang malaki ang toll nito sa inyong budget na daily caloric intake po. At isa pa, pwede naman po start looking for something, another outlet po where you can reduce your stress, no? So, probably, yung iba, they play games, no? They go out, they travel. Although ngayon, hindi pa po pwede, no?
Pwede.
Oo. But they do something
Eating
like
is not the only way to reduce stress. Ayan.
Correct. So they look for a new hobby. Yun po, gardening. You can be a plantita, no? Opo. Ano pa, you can do, iba't ibang maraming po pwedeng gawin. Kung ano po yung gusto nyong gawin, no? Maybe start a new business kung gusto nyo po, no? Or something that you enjoy. And
para maiba lang.
Yes, tama po yun.
Okay. Parang meron pa.
From Miss Lady Rose Limbaga, po. Good morning po, Doktora. Do you have suggestions or tips po kung anong mga healthy biscuits, breads, or cookies ang healthy?
We cannot name brands, no? But ito lang po ang masasabi ko po. Always read the label, okay? If it's mataas po yung sugar, definitely, probably it's not the best choice. Kung mataas din po yung fat content, that would not be the best choice. And if you look at the nutrition label, also check kung ilang ba ang portions, no, per pack. Kasi minsan, yung nutrition label po, for one portion lang po yun. Minsan nakasulat po doon, 3 portions. So, ita-times 3 nyo po yun pag naubos nyo po yung buong pakete po ng cookies na yun, no? But generally po, all these are sweets. So talagang they will have a small amount of sugar talaga po, no? So it's hard because if they say it's sugar-free, sometimes po it's filled with fat, no? Po, baliktad. Or if it's fat-free naman po, sometimes it's filled with sugar po. So not really that healthy. So kahit nasabihin po nila na fat-free, no? Opo. Baka filled with sugar. Kasi for something to sell, it should be very tasty, no? Kasi ang totoo pong diet food, hindi po masarap. Wala po siyang lasa. Yun po yung totoo, no? Because it has less sugar, it has less fat. Okay?
So commercially
po,
talaga, they need to do that.
Opo. That's the reality po natin. So that's why if you can prepare your own food, you can evaluate or you can budget kung ano lang po ilalagay nyo, no? Little amount of butter, less sugar.
Totoo yan.
Diba?
Kasi etong pandemic, a lot of people started baking. Ako din nabigla sa dami ng sugar na nakalagay sa isang recipe. So that's already the homemade. Can you imagine pa what commercial bakeries are doing? Siyempre, kailangan din naman nilang kumita.
Opo.
It's a business. So
Tama
if you realize it while you're making your own cookies, baka hindi mo na makain yung cookie mo after. Nangyari yun sa akin itong pandemic.
Yes.
Marami pa ba tayong
Doktora,
tanong?
ako na lang. Siguro mga 4-5 questions.
Okay.
Can we still accommodate them?
Nasa 1 hour na tayo, Doktora. Very short na lang
Okay.
yung mga
Napakaganda kasi, Doktora, ng
Napakaganda ng
topic. Yes. Ako din may mga personal questions, but then I'll give way dun sa mga viewers natin. From Miss Daday Algabre, good morning, Doc. Ano magandang kainin sa mataas ang kolesterol po? Salamat, Doc. God bless po.
Okay, so generally, cholesterol, no? So fatty food. Ito lang, very simple. Avoid yung mga fried, fatty, and fast food. Mabilis na sagot po yun.
Ay, tumigil na ng kapiprito. Ayan.
From Miss Cindy Abinas Cantillo, good morning po. I'm slim type po. Wow, sana lahat slim, ma'am. I eat anything po. Totoo po ba na pwedeng madali mag-burn ng calorie ang type ko? Ako po yung tipong mabilis gumalaw.
Okay. The way kasi we check for metabolism, no? May mga strict ways po tayo how to do that. We don't really know how fast our metabolism is. But you're very fortunate. You don't gain a lot of weight, no? But probably it's also because you move a lot. Okay? So baka you do a lot of activity. That's why you're also burning the amount you eat. Okay.
Yeah. Ay, Doktora, fast lang. Just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy. Tama ba ako?
Tama po kayo, Doc. No? Wala po sa size po natin yan. No, sometimes, so it is still best that you consult your doctor, get at least a check-up, no, para lang makita natin. Okay?
Okay, next question. Inuubos na natin. Yeah.
From Miss Jari Andre, I think one of the challenges to some is the availability of healthy foods, especially those living on their own and does not know how to cook. Any advice for these individuals? Ang ganda po ng tanong.
Maganda yan. Yung mga hindi marunong magluto, Doktora, at mag-isa sa bahay, what should they do?
Okay. Pag nag-order ng food, check nyo kung ilan ang calories po noon, no? Or you just choose the better options. Kung wari, bibili ka ng spaghetti, no? Instead na Alfredo, ang sauce, kasi puro cream yan, butter, alam natin, no? Maybe ang better option is to choose something that's in red sauce, no? Para less, di ba? Kasi yung butter tsaka milk, ang ginagamit nila dyan, whole cream milk, minsan, di ba? For it to make tasty. So, yun yung mga ibang options natin. Or, when you order, always get a vegetable side. Okay? So, I know it's very hard. Not all fast food would offer vegetables, but if you buy food, no, always have a vegetable side. A green leafy vegetable po. Okay? Yan yung medyo mahirap sa atin.
Sa Chowking, I keep eating the kangkong. I like the kangkong of the Chowking.
That's really good,
I don't even eat the other Chowking stuff. I just eat the kangkong.
So, always choose a side na with vegetable kasi mahirap. Naintindihan ko po yan eh. Lahat ng fast food natin, diba, talagang wala pong vegetable masyado. So, always make it a habit to order extra na vegetable. Okay? So, yun yung mga ibang tips. Doctor, I just want to add pala po dun yung about sa metabolism na mabilis, no? Baka lang po, also check some people who have fast metabolism pala, they have thyroid problems din,
so
no? So, hyperthyroid, yes. So, magpatingin. Yun lang po.
Okay.
From Miss Minmin, ano po pwedeng pagkain sa may mataas ang kolesterol? Mura lang po sana.
Yan.
Okay.
Alam mo, ito lang, I just wanted to comment on this question. Alam mo sa US, parang napapansin nila, dati kasi sa Pilipinas, if you're thin, it means wala kang perang pambili ng pagkain. Pero sa US and industrialized countries ngayon, yung mga matataba, it's already a sign of poor income kasi wala silang choices. So, income is going to be playing a big role in this as we move forward. Kasi the processed foods are so cheap na ngayon eh. Unlike before. Oo.
Okay.
So could you comment on that, Doktora?
Okay. Ang options po natin if I understand, no, chicken, pork, and beef are very expensive, di ba? And if you go to the supermarket, the leaner choices of meat are a bit more expensive, no? Dagdag ng 20 to 30 pesos per kilo. Siyempre, malaking bagay po yan para sa ating lahat. No? So what we can choose for your meat, fish, no? Mas healthier po ito, di ba? Kasi yung fish, kapag yun na po yun, lahat yun meat, no? Yun yung kakainin mo. When you just fry it, make sure po yung oil, hindi masyadong marami, no? O kaya you take out the oil, you tap it. Oo, grilled, no? Or something. Huwag lang pong, the type of cooking din kasi, ma'am, will matter. Tama po yun, no? Or iba po, sa sabaw, di ba? Or pwede rin, yung oil po natin, huwag masyadong madami. Huwag mong lalagyan ng sobra daming butter o kaya gatas, di ba? Malaking bagay na rin to. At syempre, ang very important pa rin po na vegetable talaga. Kasi pag vegetable po, mabilis po tayong mabusog. Mas mabubusog ka because there's fiber. At konti lang po yung, small amount and yet you're full. No? So you don't have vegetables readily available. We just have to pick the vegetable that we really like to eat. I know, especially our children, no, medyo mahirap po.
Yung anak ko doesn't eat a single vegetable.
So, we just have to cook it in a way na magugustuhan ng mga bata. Kung isama sa sabaw, no, yung mga ganun. O kaya, if you cook something na meat, yung gusto nilang pagkain, isama mo ng konting gulay para mapilitan pong kumain at matuto pong kumain ng gulay.
Ayan. Last na ata ito, Miss Reyna. Yan.
Last question.
Okay. Yes, thyroid.
Sandali lang. Hi po, Doktora. Tinatest yung thyroid profile kasi po walang ganang kumain. Ito po ang result. TSH 5.516, FT3 4.088, FT4 13.26. Thanks po. Normal po ba ito?
Okay. Wait lang Sandali lang. Ma'am, we don't really interpret yung personal kasi we don't naman know kung ano po yung history niyo eh. Because just to answer a test result, may history, may PE, at saka may follow-ups. So, Doktora, siguro general thoughts na lang on that thyroid.
Okay. Opo. Sige. Number one po, ang advice pa rin, like Doktora Anna said, it's very hard no na to interpret the test. Plus, the values po ng thyroid, yung normal values po are different sa mga laboratories po. Opo. So, it's very hard to say talaga and to comment because iba-ibang generation ng mga normal values po ng mga thyroid tests natin. Okay? So, if you feel you have symptoms, no, kung yung iba nga nanghihina, mahinang kumain, no, pwede yun. They would be more consistent to hypothyroidism. Okay? But for us to fully interpret your blood test result,
Kailangan
it's
sa
best
doktor.
you see your doctor po who requested for that blood test result. If you wish to see another doctor po to hear their opinion, you can do so also. Para naman po, kung para meron din po kayong kung ano yung mga thoughts po ng mga doctors po niyo. Kung hindi po kayo, kung yung sa first one po,
Parang hindi
pa po,
kumpleto yung
okay.
sagot.
Opo.
It is good to get a second opinion. Okay. So, thank you so much, Dr. Florence. Ang daming tanong, grabe. And it's something that opened up, actually, the diet na ako, like lunchtime. Okay, nawala na ako ng kumain. But it's good to be reminded about your health. And it's also good to realize that a large part of your health comes from diet and exercise. Ayan. At pwede mong actually, yun nga, yung bumalik tayo dun sa case, your family history does not define you. It's how you cope up with your life that will really tell us whether you are going to keep up. But pwede mo namang, and your chronological age also doesn't define you. Nasa sa'yo gagawin mo yan. So, Dr. Florence, thank you so much. Any last words of wisdom sa mga nade-depress na sa taba nila?
Sa akin po, ang masasabi ko po, it's very important that if you do something po, you have to have the motivation to do it and stick with it po. No? There's no hard or fast rule on how we could go about doing a diet. It should be something that you like to do po, like yung po ko pong sinasabi po. No? And it should be something that's sustainable. And above all, you have to go and see your doctor if you feel something. Before you start the diet, make sure you also consult your doctor because a diet might not be the best diet that you think would match you. No? So we look into a lot of factors and these are very important when you go through a diet. No? It's a lifetime change and I hope you can live with it. I hope you learned something po today. And if you will be able to eat less, diba? You would be able to live longer. You can do a lot more. Okay?
Ayan. Napakaganda. Thank you so much, Dr. Florence. Thank you so much talaga. Nabuksan
Thank
yung
you
isip
very
namin.
much po.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much talaga.
It's my pleasure to be here today.
Yan. Napakaganda po ng sinabi po ni Dr. Florence. It's only a short talk, but napapaisip ka talaga with how you live your life and how you want the rest of your life to be. And talagang I was struck by the fact na yung life expectancy ng Filipinos is quite low compared to other countries. And a large part of that is already our diet. Na as we move towards an industrialized society, nagiging industrial and processed na rin ang pagkain natin. Yung kinain natin ng bata, iba na po ang kinakain ngayon ng mga anak natin. And, itong COVID na to has taught us that ang daming back to basics. And maybe sa foods, let's learn how to cook. Let's buy our own foods hanggat maaari and realize that accessibility is not, it might be accessible, but you have to think twice if it is healthy and good for you. So, bumati po muna tayo. I think there are a few people who sent us greetings that we were not able to read. Kasi nga po, busy-busy tayo sa dami po ng mga tanong. Opo.
From Mr. Shane Andalo, Maya Pabakapu.
Maya Pabak po. Oh my God.
Maya
Pabak.
Ulit, doktora.
Maya
Ulit.
Pabak po. Okay.
Maya Pabakapu. Tama?
Yeah, good effort.
Okay. Maya Pabakapu. Rende, hi po. Good morning.
Hi, Ren. How are you?
Next po, from Ms. Rowena Reyes. Good morning po, doktora. Maulang umaga.
Miss Rowena, maulan at mabaha. What's happening there?
At lumindol.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, did you feel that, doktora?
Hindi, I was too busy being worried about my diet.
From Mr. Chito Bondoc. Good morning po, Doktora.
Hi, Chito. Thank you for watching.
From Miss Garcia Flores Flor. Good morning po.
Thanks, ma'am. Good morning.
From Daisy Dulfo Maiso.
Daisy,
From
thank
Miss,
you.
from Miss May Alta Rejos Cueva. I agree, less is more.
Thank you, May.
From Miss Florita Solis. Good morning, watching from Bataan.
Parating yung sinasabi ni Mama, i-reveal mo naman sa amin kung saan ka sa Bataan. Curious na kami.
From Rizel Clarin Munoz. Good rainy morning po, Doktora.
Rizel, how are you?
From Miss Leia May Abas Sentina. Very informative po, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you rin, Miss Leia. I'm glad you learned something. Ang daming ano, no? Ang daming... Rina, Dr. Florence wasn't able to answer kasi nga 1 hour lang, nag-extend pa tayo, no? Pero somehow, parang mapapaisip ka eh. Like, mapapaisip ka talaga. From Daisy,
From Miss
daming
Daisy Dulfo
natutunan.
Maiso. Dami ko pong natutunan. Thanks po.
Thanks, Daisy. I'm glad. That's our purpose here, to educate. Miss Doris, good morning.
From Mr. Joel Gilas. Very informative po.
Joel, thanks for joining us. Hope you learned something. Ako, I learned a lot. Tapos na-depress lang ako sa kinakain ko.
From
Dami ko pa
Miss
naman
Bev.
feeling candy.
From Miss Bebs Galman. Good morning po.
Ma'am Bevs, it's nice to have you join us.
From Miss Daisy Dulfo Maiso. Wow. Taga Bataan din po. Ako, Abukay po, Bahana po.
From Abukay pala si ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry to hear about the baha.
Okay, that's all that we have,
Okay, so for
Doktora.
everyone, I'd like to thank again Dr. Florence Rochelle Gan. Ang ganda ng usapan ni Doktora. I learned a lot. But more than learning, I would have to say it opened my thoughts. And I hope it opened your thoughts. And sana we could be proactive. Kumbaga, kung mapapaisip tayo, sana mapakilos din po tayo in the proper direction to take care of our health. So sa inyo po lahat, thanks for joining us this week. Ang daming pinag-usapan. Next week, we're going to tackle siguro yung mga, there's news about Sinovac, binalik na naman yung mga kids sa bahay. That's why we talked about the Delta variant yesterday. We haven't even discussed Pfizer yet at yung J&J. By the way, nagbabakuna kami sa J&J today. Maganda yung reception because people like the fact na 1 dose lang and tapos na yung problema nila. So, there's a lot going on in terms of COVID and of course, tungkol po sa kalusugan po ng mga Pilipino. So, sa inyo po lahat, a very good morning and thank you so much.